biggest threat will be winds gusting at 50 to 60. We've had reports of extremely uh, big hailstones. I mean, inch to an inch and a half diameter with this line moving through. Again, the forecast continues to show this line continuing to move to the east at about 50 to 60 miles an hour. So the areas that will be impacted here, again, will be as follows. Again, we're looking at areas, and we'll kind of draw the map here so you can kind of see. We're looking at New Philadelphia. We're looking at Strasburg at around, well, within probably within the next couple of minutes. New Philadelphia, Dover within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Again, this is kind of the setup here as it continues to move to the east at about 50 to 60 miles an hour. We haven't had a tornado warning like this in quite some time, especially the overnight period in quite some time. So again, the forecast shows that line moving east. Now, where are we looking at after it moves out of Tuscarawas County? So right here, we're looking at this moving east of I-77 within the next 15 minutes. It'll be east of Canton. Beyond that, we're looking at eastern Stark County, and eventually this line potentially moving into Youngstown, I would say within the next probably hour or so. Again, the severe thunderstorm watch went into effect several hours ago for the eastern half of northern Ohio. That will continue to about 7 a.m. So again, this line's going to take a while, the entire storm system, to move out of the area. It's going to take another couple of hours. So again, tornado warning in effect for western Tuscarawas County, in effect until 3:15. Again, the biggest threat now will be extremely strong winds, localized winds gusting at 60 to 70 miles an hour. It's moving to the east and northeast at about 50 to 60. So that's kind of the update here. Again, we have not had any reports of any tornadoes on the ground. This is due to Doppler estimated rotation within the storm system itself. Again, this line is producing stronger thunderstorms and the potential for these warnings. The further south you go versus the further north. Even if you are not under a warning, and there's only a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings here reported Stark and Summit County, and that's mainly due to high winds. Even if you're not under some sort of warning, we still have extremely heavy rainfall. Again, the precipitation rate, like the rainfall rate, is about a ½ inch to an inch an hour. So again, as the line moves through, you get a big downpour, you get hydroplaning. I remember driving into work a couple of hours ago. We had a lot of ponding of water on I-71, and we're going to run into this now, especially on I-77. Throughout Tuscarawas and Stark County. I mean, we're looking at a lot of rain in a short period of time, which means that, again, hydroplaning will be a big problem. And the fact that this occurs at night, you don't see the big puddles on the road. You don't see, you don't see 2, 3, 4 inches of water on the road. So, again, it'll be I-77, I-76 east of Akron. You're looking at a lot of hydroplaning here. With these high rainfall rates. Anyway, the tornado warning, again, went into effect about 15 minutes ago for eastern Coshocton and southwestern corners of Tuscarawas County. Again, we'll take a look here and kind of storm track this out for you. The line itself is continuing to move to the east at about 60 miles an hour. So again, we are looking at Dover. We're looking at Strasburg within the next 5 to 10 minutes. The potential now for some extremely strong winds here. Again, nothing on the ground, but tornado warnings most of the time are indicated and issued because of rotation within the cloud. If we happen to get any additional information, we'll continue to update you here from the National Weather Service here. I'm going to update this here just to try to get some additional info here from the, let's see, looking back up to the north, there's the tornado warning, and again, no reports of anything reaching the ground yet. So we'll just stay on and because a lot of times these happen at night like this. We don't typically get severe weather like this at night. And so most of us are sleeping. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We're also streaming online at fox8.com. Anytime we do have tornado warnings or severe weather like this, we always try to stream it for you. So if you're not watching it on TV, you can watch it on your mobile phone. You can watch it on Facebook. You can watch it on any of the other media platforms when we do have severe weather like this. So again, tornado warning in effect for southwestern Tuscarawas County. This line is continuing to move to the east and northeast at about 50 to 60 miles an hour. Again, we'll kind of give you the grand tour here as we widen the perspective. Let's see, there we go. Again, taking away from the radar, look at the lightning. Look at the amount of the amount of northern Ohio that has had vivid lightning strikes here over the last 10 to 15 minutes. Again, the area shaded in red, that's the tornado watch, which is still in effect for Lorain, Cuyahoga, Medina, Ashland, Richland, Wayne, and northern Holmes County. That tornado watch went into effect a while ago, but it will be allowed to expire at 4 a.m. as this line moves to the east. And then somewhat lesser on the the intensity scale here would be the severe thunderstorm watch, which will continue for eastern counties all the way into almost western Pennsylvania until 7 a.m. Again, the line is a potent line as it continues to move to the east at about 50 to 60 miles an hour. We are getting some significant breaks here. So the general gist of this is this line is going to be gone in time for the morning commute. The problem is this is occurring in the middle of the night, and so we're still highlighting extremely strong an extremely strong line here. Now, notice what's happening, though, in the last 15 to 20 minutes. The line itself seems to be, and this might be a stretch just looking at the radar, but it seems to be weakening somewhat. That's a good thing here as it weakens, as it moves to the north and northeast. Weakening line is a good thing. The problem is weakening from the strength that it was to what it is now. It's still a potent line moving right through the middle of Tuscarawas County. Again, notice the line here continuing to impact New Philadelphia. That'll be moving through New Philadelphia within the next probably 5 minutes as it continues to move to the east. This again, we're looking at Bolivar within the next minute or two, New Philadelphia within the next probably 7 or 8 minutes, and then there's kind of the laundry list of cities. Carrollton probably around 3:40, assuming this line holds together. I know it's a lot of information, but again, this line is a strong line. We haven't had a line like this in quite some time. Overnight thunderstorms are probably the most trickiest because you can't see what's happening. It's dark out. The cloud cover obviously is very thick. You have strong winds. You have hail-producing thunderstorms, and on top of all that, you have rainfall rates of a ½ inch to an inch an hour or higher when the line moves through. So again, we're looking at most of Tuscarawas County getting really hit pretty hard now with this line of strong thunderstorms and some severe weather on top of that due to the tornado warning, which went into effect about 20 minutes ago. That'll be again allowed to expire within about 9 or 10 minutes for the southwestern corner of Tuscarawas County. Again, just a few years ago, we would issue tornado warnings. The National Weather Service would issue tornado warnings for an entire county. But when you have Tuscarawas County, being that it's a large county geographically, when you have a tornado warning, say up around Beach City, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have that type of weather further south. But in recent years, we can issue tornado warnings, Weather Service, on more localized pockets. You get a tornado warning for a select corner of the county, like what you have here, which only impacts New Philadelphia south versus north, where the tornado warning isn't relevant. So again, the line continues to move to the east at about 60 miles an hour. Again, notice the cities here that will be impacted. Again, continuing to move to the east. Again, the biggest threat will be extremely strong winds of about 60 miles an hour. Again, continues to move to the east. And right now, the only threat is strong wind. We have no reports of any tornadoes on the ground. Again, the tornado warning mainly due to rotation within the cloud. We'll continue to update here in the Fox 8 Weather Office. Again, what we do now is that we always stream. Anytime we have severe weather, we usually, especially with tornado warnings, we stream it online, and we stream it online at fox8.com. We also post it on our website, and we also post it on Facebook. Again, notice the next tornado warning, which actually is outside of our coverage area. This is mainly further south now. Let's see here. We got it for Coshocton, Guernsey, Harrison County, which is outside of our area. However, what that basically indicates, and let me widen this out so you can kind of see here, is that the Weather Service indicate that the line is actually stronger further south. That's what we're looking at here. Again, this is the main line here, and then we have that last tornado warning, which again is kind of outside of our coverage area, but it kind of gives you an indication that if they're issuing tornado warnings further south, that means the line itself is stronger south. For instance, here further north, we haven't had any tornado warnings reissued for areas north of New Philadelphia, which is, again, kind of a good thing that this line further north is beginning to weaken. Again, we have not had any confirmed reports of any tornadoes on the ground. These are all Doppler estimated rotation within the line itself. So here it is, again, StormFox radar showing the tornado warning, which will be allowed to expire within the next, let's see here, tornado warning in effect until, here, let me change this out for you so you can kind of see. Reset that. Again, the tornado warning for Tuscarawas County and Coshocton County will be allowed to expire at around 3:15. We'll kind of stick with you here. Again, don't typically have severe weather in the middle of the night, and that's why we're staying with you. You know, if this were the daytime period, maybe it'd be a little bit different, but at any rate, this is what we're seeing. Again, StormFox radar, and again, heavy rainfall. Let's kind of give you the grand tour. Everybody was impacted by this. Remember the severe weather we had late yesterday afternoon. This was very similar to the event that we had late yesterday afternoon. We had big hail-producing thunderstorms. This one, the same deal. Notice how it's continuing to move to the east, and just tons of lightning here. Again, the forecast shows the entire line moving east at about 40 to 50 miles an hour. You can kind of see the line here. The line's now moving through just east of Akron. The line now is moving, let's see, it's now moving through Rootstown. We have the line here just to the east of Aurora. There's Ravenna, now approaching Windham. There it is through North Canton. We had that heavy rain. No warnings, by the way, for Stark County. The severe thunderstorm warning for Stark County, but no tornado warnings, and there's Alliance. So even though Stark County and Southern Summit County not under any sort of tornado warnings, they are under a severe thunderstorm warning, and that's because the winds, Doppler estimated winds of 50 to 60 miles an hour and 1-inch hail. That's the criteria, and of course tornado, but those two are the main criteria. 1-inch hail and wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles an hour. Again, notice the movement here on this line, moving through Ravenna. That'll be moving into western Trumbull County, extreme western Mahoning County, and there it is. It's just now crossing I-77 east of Canton, and then we'll kind of look here further south where the line is the strongest, moving through right there through Tuscarawas County, and there it is, tornado warning. Again, the tornado warning for Tuscarawas County in effect until 3:15. So again, there's the line. That's the main line right here. Again, impacting right between Strasburg, New Philadelphia. This line continues to move to the east at about 50 to 60 miles an hour. Again, the biggest threat will be high winds, hail-producing thunderstorms, and heavy rainfall. Don't want to. Again, a lot of people wonder, well, why isn't there some sort of warning when you have heavy rainfall? Typically, that would be a flood warning. We have not had any flood warnings yet, mainly because this line's moving so fast. A lot of times, flood warnings are issued mainly due to rain that just kind of sits, a thunderstorm that sits over one area. This is moving fast. So even though we are going to have some issues with hydroplaning on I-77 and secondary roads, again, with this line moving so fast to the east, I think what we're going to notice now is a lot of that water is going to run off rapidly because the entire system, the entire front is moving to the east so fast. So within the next couple of hours, I don't think we'll have any issues with any hydroplaning as we head into the the beginning of the morning commute, by 5-6 o'clock in the morning, looking down the road. All right, so there's the tornado warning, again in effect until 3:15 for extreme southwestern.
Coshocton just extended till 3:30.
Yeah, Coshocton, yes, got that. Thank you, Darren. Coshocton in effect, and tornado warning in effect for southern Tuscarawas County until 3:15. Right here, you can kind of see the area hashed, the hash mark here. And then we'll look further south. There's Coshocton County in effect until around 3:30. So that's kind of what we're highlighting here. There's the line as it continues to move to the east. We'll stick with you here until this tornado warning is allowed to expire for Tuscarawas County. Again, the main threat will be high winds, 50 to 60 mile per hour winds here. Again, Doppler estimated, or Doppler rotation. All right, Doppler radar shows the rotation within the cloud. So that's kind of what we're going with. Again, we have not had any other reports. And just looking up at the list here, again, no reports of anything. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll to the top of the list here so you can kind of get an idea. We have not had any other, no reports of anything aside from aside from what we're kind of showing you here. So there we have it. So let's see if we can get anything new here, and nothing right now. So, and there it is. Okay, so kind of doing multiple things here at once. All right, tornado warning again in effect for this extreme southwestern corner of Tuscarawas County until 3:15. And there it is right there. Again, this line, even though this line is weakening, it is still potent. It is still moving to the east and northeast at about 60 miles an hour. Again, we're looking at high rainfall rates with this. We're looking at winds gusting, obviously, at 50 to 60 miles an hour. And even if you're not under any sort of tornado warning, there's a handful of severe thunderstorm warnings due to the high winds, especially for Portage, Mahoning, and Stark counties moving to the east at about 50 to 60 miles an hour. All right, severe thunderstorm watch for the rest of us. Notice as we look at the bigger picture here, there's the line. See how it's moving to the east. So again, give it probably another hour, and this line, the entire storm, the entire thing impacting northern Ohio is going to be out of here. So give it another hour, hour and a half, and this thing is going to be pretty much gone, which is a good sign as we head into the heart of the morning commute. A lot of vivid lightning with this. Again, overnight thunderstorms, overnight severe weather. It's always the trickiest. We mentioned this a million times because it's dark out. You can't see anything. You can hear it, but you can't see anything. And of course, rainfall and hydroplaning, if you're driving on the interstates, very difficult to see when you have this occurring in the middle of the night like this. So again, tornado warning in effect and still in effect. Let me zoom in here for southwestern Tuscarawas County until 3:15. This will be allowed to expire here within probably another minute to a minute and a half, which is a good thing. Again, the tornado warning for extreme, and this is almost out of our coverage area, but Guernsey and Harrison County until 3:30. Again, that is not going to be, I don't think that part of the severe thunderstorm is going to intensify at all. So at any rate, this is what we're seeing here. The line moving to the east rapidly. We'll try to give you and continue to update you as this line continues to move to the east. Notice to the west as we go back up north and west, back into Worcester and Millersburg and back up into Ashland, Mansfield, Medina, and back up into Cleveland, the rainfall intensity is beginning to go down, and that's a good sign here. The severe thunderstorm watch and all the watches and warnings will probably end up playing out. But again, severe thunderstorm warnings, again, there's a lot to talk about here, but the main thing that we've been highlighting for a while now is the tornado warning, which went into effect for southwestern Tuscarawas County earlier in the evening, and that'll be allowed to expire here within the next probably couple of seconds. So that's the update here. We'll continue to update you online. If we need to break in again, if any additional tornado warnings happen to be issued by the Weather Service, we will continue to update you here. And there it is, as the tornado warning was allowed to expire. Again, the tornado warning further south is outside of our coverage area, but we'll continue to update you. Let me zoom back out, give you kind of one last perspective here of northern Ohio before we kind of cut out here. So again, continue to update you here online, fox8.com. We'll continue to update you on our website, online, on the air, and all other places as well. That tornado warning to the south is out of our coverage area.
That's what I figured. I was writing you a note.
Yeah.
So I was gonna.
Yeah.
Good job. That's a lot for just.
Yeah, I mean,